Yep.
I'm Lewis with the County Paranormal Historical Society. We're out here at the Dolan House in Lincoln, New Mexico. This house was the original residence of the one of the Murphy Dolan faction. It was built in 1883, and hopefully we'll be able to find some evidence of some activity here. Lots of people reporting things of full body apparitions, voices, things moving off tables, and it's a stone's throw away from where all the Lincoln County War of Billy the Kid took place.
I can edit
All right, Beverly, Bill, is there any place in this building that you don't want us to enter into besides, I know you have a bedroom back there?
Well, we have a living room.
A living room and bedroom back there, but somebody told me some stories about that room, so that they saw somebody. So we don't care if you go back there.
In the living room or?
No, it's a bedroom.
Bedroom, okay.
The living room is off of the bedroom. No, the bedroom is off of the living room.
Yeah, you got that.
Well, we'll try. What we'll try to do is get to that one early on. So if you guys decide that you do want to go to sleep, because we'll probably be here pretty late. You know, we like to do extensive, thorough investigations for you guys, so just to make sure we catch everything that we can. What areas have been reported to have activity in?
That one, that bedroom back
Back
there.
bedroom?
Living room bed.
And what, your garage, I don't know whether you,
Well, I think that was built on later. I don't know anything in the garage.
except that your desk mat was in.
Oh, well, yeah.
A couple of times when we very first started, I had silverware on the tables and it would end up not being there, you know. I knew I put it there, but it would just disappear. But that hasn't happened for a long time.
That was in here?
No, it was in that room in there.
Okay.
That room in there was Jimmy Dolan's office and library.
Okay, that's good to know.
And then the parlor was in this side where we have the store.
The front room
Where's the parlor? This room was originally the porch, and it was enclosed in the 1920s.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I don't know. I had somebody say they saw Caroline Dolan in this room. And we've seen Caroline, they saw a lady in the kitchen. But we've never seen anything like
I kind of figure if they don't bother me, I don't bother them.
Yeah, you don't want to antagonize them since you have to live here.
Yeah.
that. But they've all been very friendly, so I don't think, you know, I think they're probably pretty happy.
Well, back in that, what's our bedroom now, that was rented out to a guy at one time. And he said he came in from work and sat down on the bed and was taking his boots off. And then he looked up and he saw this kind of gray hair, long hair, shoulder-length hair, a guy with an old cowboy hat on and a long coat. And he was standing in the doorway to that room. And it said it scared him, so he put his head down and was fussing with his boots. When he looked up, he was still there. And then the guy just turned, went through the wall into what's our living room.
So definitely the bedroom seems to.
Well, there was one instance there.
Yeah, that we were told about. We didn't see it. The other one was in this room, the lady that used to own this house, her grandson was staying here after she passed away, and his friend, and it was a snow day, and they didn't have to go to school. And there was a TV sitting right there, and they were playing video games. And all of a sudden, they saw a pan go flying across the kitchen in there. And then they saw a lady come and put it back on the table.
Wow, okay. I don't know how I'd handle that if I saw somebody pick up a hand or
Supposedly, the daughter of the lady who owned this house for years, 50 years or so, the daughter told me that there was a baby buried out, just out east of my porch right there.
Well, they used to see a little girl out there all the time, but we've never seen anything. Like, we're not very,
I haven't dug anything out there.
just in case.
Well, you know, somebody's buried there, I don't want to disturb them.
I wouldn't either.
I did find out in front of the outpost next door, I was setting a post for a hitching rail out there. And I was using a postal digger on a tractor. My brother-in-law was running the tractor, I was running the postal digger, and all of a sudden up comes a femur. And so I told him to stop, and I picked it up, looked at it, put back down the hole, threw some dirt on it, and set my fence post.
No telling what kind of history was behind that for you.
No.
don't want to know.
All right. And you guys personally, have you had any experience in here besides,
Not personal.
not personally?
We haven't.
The only, not inside the house, the only thing that happened, two things happened. One, when about 3 years ago at Christmas, after Christmas, we went to Washington and Oregon to see our kids. And he always does all the cleaning and uses a great big dust mop to clean with. And when we came back, he was looking for his dust mop, and he always keeps it in the garage in one spot. And it wasn't there. And so he said, have you seen my dust mop? And I said, no, where did you leave it? And he said, where I always leave it. And so I thought, oh, well, he put it someplace else. And I went out and looked, and we couldn't find it. And 3 days later, it was back.
Okay. That was it.
That was in the garage, yeah.
And there you never found where it was sitting before that. It just disappeared and reappeared.
Yeah.
And then he had, and it was in September, and it's been probably 2 or 3 years ago, he has a garden tractor with a little trailer behind it, and it was parked over here on this side of the house. In the back of the house yard, there's a round driveway, and it's built up
It's rocks.
with rocks. And he went out there one day, and his tractor was up against that rock foundation thing. And the tires had just sat there and spun till it made big holes in the ground. There are no kids around here that would have done that.
Just
It was just weird. Other than that, that's all we've had.
And that was in back.
In the backyard, yeah.
as far as ghosts, it's been pretty uneventful. Well, there are people that will believe there's issues with this place. There's supposedly, I've heard there are 5 people buried on this property. I have no idea where. Supposedly, other than a little girl, a baby that was supposed to be buried just east of the porch.
But see, this house was built after the Lincoln County War, and so at the time of the war, this property was vacant. And there was not a cemetery in Lincoln at that time, so they just buried people where they could, you know.
It was easy as general.
Since this is a vacant property, it's a big possibility that.
And see,
it
the
applies.
war was right there. The war
Yeah.
was fought right over there, so, it would have been easy
Mm-hmm.
to just bury him here. So you don't know. But we dug a water line, we didn't find any bones there.
I did read something about there being a dry well.
Well, it's right there. It's right behind that post.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not dry, it's wet. It's when we have rain, we can run us 2 sprinklers for about an hour before we run out of water, but since it's been so dry, we can't. There's not much water in it. It's 50 feet deep.
How old is that?
Well, it was built when, in
During the house.
1883 when the house was built. Because we have a picture of the house that's taken in 1887 and the well's completely done then.
And it's about 4,000 square feet.
The house.
House.
It wouldn't have been that much originally, the original house, because there was a breezeway between the house and the summer kitchen, and then
Right,
that was
but that was
enclosed later
probably
on.
only been- Probably only been, 10 by, it'd probably only been about 300 square feet less.
But then there was a separate building too, the house.
The summer kitchen, which is where our living room, office, basically.
Okay. And one more question. What, if any, are your guys' religious beliefs? Lutheran? Christian?
Yeah, that last one we like to know, just so that while we're investigating, we don't step outside the bounds of what the spiritual beliefs of the house are or
Oh.
anything like that, you know.
All right, that's all the questions I have for you. Kevin, you have any questions?
Mm-hmm.
This, I believe, was Jimmy Dolan's office in the library. It's the only room in the house that has 2 entrances, or an entrance and an exit.
Okay.
It's all original
Yeah.
doors?
Yeah.
No replacement, everything?
Yeah.
Original wood floors in this room, the hallway, and in the room on the other side.
Okay.
All the walls in the house are 20 inches thick, even the interior walls in the house. It's what they call double adobe. All of the thresholds are the original thresholds.
And you can see they're
Yeah.
pretty well worn.
They sure are.
But durable, apparently.
Yeah. It's all 2-inch thick lumber. This was a bedroom here, and this was a parlor. It's basically only 2 rooms in the house had a closet in that. That is a closet over there.
Okay.
Now, someone told me a story that she had been here in the house with a man that's writing a book on Jimmy Dolan. And she's the one that saw Caroline Dolan standing by the fireplace that night that they were here. 2 years later, she contacted Chuck, the guy that's writing the book on Jimmy Dolan, and said, the next time you go to the Dolan house, would you tell them that they need to plant a red rose on the right side of the porch, because Caroline Dolan sat at this window when she was pregnant with their 4th child, and she would admire the roses that were planted out in front of the house.
Okay.
Well, ironically, I had already planted red roses there before
Nice.
she told me to. So I planted another one last year, but the deer ate it, so it didn't do very good, but.
They're bad about that.
And see, Caroline died 9 days after the baby was born, and that was September 29th, 1886.
Okay.
And I'm not positive whether she died in this house or not.
Okay. Well, we'll bring a rose just in case. Maybe it'll get her to say something to us.
That's a good.
Because we've noticed a lot of times it doesn't really matter where they died all the time. They like to come back to where they loved.
See, this house, if you notice, there's a door there. Turn around and look just 180 degrees. There's another door.
Ah,
That
yes.
was another bedroom. And it goes that way all the way through the house.
Okay.
Just one door after the other.
Yeah.
And they're all right straight in a row. Of course, we've got some of them closed up now, but, you know, like this one, we don't use it
Right.
to go through. This room, we replaced the floor in this room, so this isn't the original floor. And I had a lady that said she lived here in the 50s, and she said they used 3 rooms, this one, and that one. And she says, all I remember, it was so very, very cold. But if they had to, you know, because those fireplaces are not, and they could have started that fireplace, because that fireplace in that room, we can't use it. It's really been, it got very, very hot at some time and probably almost burned the house down. This fireplace was probably put in about 1950s.
Okay.
Because see, this was the porch, and they wouldn't have had a fireplace on the porch. They might have had a potbelly stove on the porch. Now see, all the rooms are the same size in the house. They're all 14 by 14. So, and then see, this I use for storage, but see, there's the door, and there's the other door.
Straight in front of each other.
And they just go all that way.
Mm-hmm.
So this room, a 14 by 14 room, they took part of it and made the bathroom out of it, the furnace room, and the laundry room.
Okay.
So this is more modern part, you know, was done probably in the 50s.
I think.
Okay.
So this was an add-on in the 50s, or is this
No,
original?
this was originally part of the house.
It's just- they're just
that
okay.
They
they
just divided.
divided it.
Okay.
One 14 by 14 bedroom into 3 smaller rooms.
Gotcha.
And then the kitchen, of course, we had to make a commercial kitchen.
Yeah. Remember that was fun doing this.
Because we had a, but it's the same size, it's a 14 by 14 room also. And then that room in there was a bedroom also. We use it as a storage pantry type room.
Right. Yeah, me and my mom used to live in the Hitching Post Lodge there in Cabot on that for a little bit, and it had a very similar layout towards the back, all the same size rooms, doors straight through.
They
So-
did that, yeah.
Yeah, I think that one was built in 1908 is what we ended up reading. So very.
Where is that at?
Whenever you drive into town, as you're coming through, you could turn to go off to the rodeo grounds. If you take the turn to the rodeo grounds, as you pass, okay, the first block you have City Hall and a few shops. The second block, the first building on the big pink one is the Hitching Post Lodge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we lived there when I was going through high school, so
Oh.
definitely had some activity there.
Did you?
Copy of this. My room had bullet holes in the floor, so and then also sometimes at night you would hear someone running through the attics, but the attic was only 2 feet tall.
No.
So it was real weird stuff like that, but just always stuff you were
Did you
curious about.
figure out who put the bullet holes in the floor?
We were never able to trace that one down because it was used as a hotel and stuff like that, and there were so many people in and out of it, it would have been hard to pinpoint.
Yeah.
And we even went in the basement, and we couldn't find any of the bullets embedded in the ground or anything, but we were looking.
So then this is gonna be the breezeway. That
Was
enclosed.
the breezeway.
Was closed in.
Okay.
And so, and then this is the place where they saw the man standing, but we've closed this off now.
Gotcha.
And you have to go in through the other way.
Okay.
That door was an original doorway.
But it was real low. wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But I opened it, reopened that doorway.
Okay.
Now, this is where we live. So this was originally the summer kitchen.
Okay.
And then this is the bedroom. That's
I'll just
probably
for
got
looking
some.
purposes. I'll just pan for the just so we know where the doorway is.